Hello, welcome back to another episode of 0 to 60. Now, this was definitely not a planned video, but it's something I thought that might be helpful to some people. I've got an exhaust leak, annoyingly. So, following on from yesterday's video, I still haven't done the air conditioning. And yeah, the Chinese AN fitting did not want to get reused. It just would not seal. And I thought, instead of just trying to mess around with it, you can see it just looks terrible. Anyway, I went and bought a brand name one. For $50, we've now got a Raceworks proper AN full flow fitting on there. It does look good, but it costs quite a lot of money. Anyway, it doesn't leak. When I'm standing there checking for leaks, I'm like, something sounds a bit funny, something smells a bit off. And yeah, there is an exhaust leak. Now, I have had many exhaust leak issues with my 17T car, actually before it had 17Ts. That comes about because the Miltech exhaust, the flange on it it's bigger than 2.5 inch, and it just doesn't mate up with downpipes properly. I don't know why they've done it that way. Anyway, and it's just a bit of a bitch to seal. So when I fitted my first downpipes ever, I drove around for about 3 weeks trying to work out how to get them to seal. Long story short, this smells familiar, and I can smell it, and I reckon I've got some sort of a leak issue with the front turbo. Now, I don't know if it's downpipe to turbo, the turbo itself, because they are V-band, or the turbo to the head. So this could be really painful. Now, I watched a video back in the day when I was having the issues. I cannot remember the dude's name, but he was doing N54 videos on YouTube, and he hooked up a vacuum cleaner to his exhaust, blocked off the other side, and that pumps the air through the exhaust. Kind of a simple solution, really. And all we're going to do is spray around some dishwashing liquid, which should be nice and bubbly, and just see if we can work out where the bubbles are coming from. Let me get some better light. Always battling with light in this shed. Joys of it all. I'm going to sit there. Okay. So I'm just going to try and direct this around the V-bands. Alright, so yeah, actually, is it going to spray? It's bubbling already. Alright, so let's spray it all around the turbo. It's bubbling on the thing, which isn't ideal. Spray it this way. Hopefully it'll fall down. All around the downpipe. And it's all cold at the moment. I am wondering if whatever this leak is, as everything heats up, it goes away, and that might be why I didn't notice it before. But let's turn the vacuum on. And we'll see if we can see anything bubbling up. The answer is not yet. No. Might have to have a look underneath. So I'm going to try and get you guys to see this, but there seems to be bubbles coming out of the wastegate. How weird's that? So the wastegate doesn't rattle, it doesn't seal. It's not ideal. Huh. Interesting. Alright, I think I've found it. There seems to be 2 leaks, actually. So it's leaking out of that wastegate, and also the V-band right next to it. So that's horrible. I gotta try and do that up somehow. I mustn't have done it up when I had the turbos off, and I clocked them. Bugger. Oh my god. Well, that was difficult to get to. I ended up, right-hand drives are just tight, but I ended up taking the outlets actually off. I had to cut down an Allen key, this little thing here. I've reached that level of tool modification. Had to cut that down, and then I could just get it in, and then I remembered that there's actually a nut on the back of it. But being able to slide a 10mm through this mess, I don't know how, but I got it on the nut, and it's done up. And as you can see from this footage right here, it's no longer leaking. So I'll put the outlets back on, take that cover off the exhaust, and start it up and see if it still sounds the same. But it was loose. It was completely loose. I clocked the turbos when I did the engine swap. I didn't take one line off the turbo. So all of the oil lines, all of the coolant lines, I just left them bolted on. And then to clock the turbos and get the downpipes lined up, I ended up undoing that V-band. I just forgotten that I hadn't done it. Clever turbos with those V-bands, but my bad. Anyway, let's put it back together. Okay, taping exhaust off. Let's just double check all this. Oil lines are on, fans back in, fans connected. Still don't have AC. Let's start it up, see if I can get any funny smells out of it. Or anything along those lines. Oh my god, I hate this hoist. Right. Oh. Start straight up. Right, let's have a listen. I think there's something still leaking. Yeah, I can smell combustion. And still a funny noise. Interesting. So I've just gone over everything with the stethoscope. Got there in the end. These are brilliant, by the way. If you have an N54, get yourself a stethoscope and poke around on different things in the engine. It helps you narrow down noises. So it sounds like I'm hearing either a knock or an exhaust leak. And it's legit the exhaust pulses from the exhaust. And I think it's just this exhaust. So it's consistent, which means compression's even across the cylinders. That's missed, by the way, from it being sitting there for so long. Yeah, the smell that I smelt when I first started it up, I actually think it was the washing up liquid, all the bubbles that I've been spraying on the exhaust. Because now you can breathe in the engine bay and it doesn't burn. Where before, if I breathed in here, it was just all exhaust fumes. No blow by. Yeah, I'm also super paranoid that I've done something wrong with the engine. So maybe I'm just hearing noises and overthinking them. Let me know your thoughts from what you can hear on the camera and the footage underneath. I'll play the underneath footage again. Listening to the exhaust with the stethoscope. I want to call it protractor for some reason. I can hear that, it's in the exhaust, and I think it's just exhaust pulses. And I think I'm just overthinking it and never really paid any attention to them before. Anyway, there we go. I hope this video is helpful to someone trying to find exhaust leaks. We did have an exhaust leak, and the vacuum up the exhaust in blow mode, I should have specified that. You do need to switch the shock back round so the outlet is going into the car. But yeah, with a bit of washing up liquid, super easy to find where the leak's coming from. I never would have thought in a million years it was that V-band. I thought it was downpipes, so that saved me a lot of messing around by doing that. Even though it took about 2 hours to do the V-band up, because it's nice and tight down in that spot that you can't even see. Anyway, guys, right, there are more videos to come. I need to get the AC regassed on this, and yeah, start winding it up. Thank you for watching.